confidently vulnerable. Hello, I'm Malcolm Cox and welcome to Tuesday Teaching Tips episode 222, and today we're taking a fourth look at an article I found online, and the link is in the show notes, called 5 Lesser Known Public Speaking Rules Every Young Professional Needs to Know. Well, I think they're useful for all preachers and teachers too. And today we're talking about being confidently vulnerable. In the article, he says this: strong public speakers make themselves accessible to their audiences. They have the courage to acknowledge flaws and the confidence to promise improvement. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about the value of self-deprecation. Self-deprecating humor, self-deprecating sharing is very valuable. It just levels the playing field. Self-humiliation is not what we're talking about. Self-humiliation is, look at me, and it ends up with people either feeling sorry for you or appalled at you. That's not what we're looking for. Let's take our cue from the Apostle Paul. In 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 3 to 5, he says this to the Corinthians: I came to you in weakness, with great fear and trembling. My message and my preaching were not with wise and persuasive words, but with a demonstration of the Spirit's power, so that your faith might not rest on human wisdom, but on God's power. Fantastic. Paul's a great model to us here. 3 things. Firstly, Paul spoke about himself in a way that the Corinthians would agree with. They knew him. When he says, I came in great fear and trembling and weakness, they would say, yeah, that is how you turned up. So he's only saying things they already know. And that's really important with our audience, our congregation, that we don't try and pretend we're something we're not. We're just being who we are. We're saying, you know this about me. This is how I am. That's very valuable. Secondly, he spoke about aspects of his feelings and his character which were relevant to the situation that caused the letter to be written in the first place. In other words, he's sharing something appropriate. He's talking about this because there are arrogant people in the congregation who seem to be very confident. Let me follow you. Let me follow you. You're the man. You're the man. And Paul's like, no one's the man. I'm not even the man. I came to you in fear and weakness and trembling. And he's hoping that they will think, oh, that's true. Paul, that apostle, came with that attitude. Those around us here who are saying, follow me, or follow me, or follow me, that kind of attitude isn't the right attitude. So he's picked something to share that will help them with their current challenge. And thirdly, God is the ultimate focus. He talks about the Spirit's power. He talks about God's power. In other words, the focus is not the Corinthians. The focus is not Paul. His sharing is helping them to get their eyes more on God in the end. And that's where our vulnerability, self-deprecating sharing needs to end up. Not people feeling sorry for us, not people feeling appalled at us, but people thinking, okay, the playing field is level. I'm not here to preach at you. I'm here to share with you some things that could be useful from God's word, and self-deprecating sharing can help with that. It punctures the balloon. But ultimately, God is the focus. That's the point. Question for you today: how can you add some healthy self-deprecating sharing into your next lesson? Let me know how it goes. Let me know what questions you have as a result of putting it in there. And let me know how the congregation reacts to you, whether they react, you think, in a healthy way or not. I'd love to know. So drop me a line. Malcolm@malcolmcox.org is the email, or you can find me on the website, malcolmcox.org. Leave me a note. And if you know anybody that might benefit from this, then pass the recording on, please. And if you haven't already done so, why not subscribe? Then you'll not only know what's coming up next, but it'll help the algorithm so that the world out there can pick up these recordings. Well, until the next time we will be talking about, oh yes, last lesson next time, remember the 95% rule. That's next time. What's that about? Well, you'll have to wait till next week. Remember the 95% rule. Until then, though, I hope you have a terrific Tuesday and a wonderful week. Take care and God bless.